Hello everybody, how are you guys? We're out here, another beautiful day in Pittsburgh, talking about fan favorites from Pittsburgh teams of the past. And we've been speaking about the now defunct Pittsburgh Pitstops NBA team that was in town from 1946. Well, an NBA team from 1946 through 2007, and before that in the Allegheny Monongahela League from 1910 through 1946. Now, I'm not an expert in Pittsburgh sports. I'm going by information that I was given by a guy that I met standing behind me in a line at the Sheets. I was paying for my gas. He was getting 4 bottles of a, let's just say, a pick-me-up soda. So I don't know if this is accurate information, but this video is going to talk about 3 beloved players of the Pittsburgh Pitstops NBA team, specifically starting with 1956's Truckee Van. Now, Truckee Van was a center and played for the University of Southern California Trojans before being drafted by the Pitstops, and was a fan favorite mostly because of his wife. His wife was in the stands at every game, acting crazy, acting the fool, and the fans loved it. Because the thing about Pittsburgh is this isn't a place for celebrities. I mean, there's celebs, of course. Local celebs and big national celebs live here or some, but it's mainly a community for the working man, for the real person, for the unadulterated enthusiasm of a real fan. You will get points, bonus points off your head that you've never known, because Pittsburgh recognizes real sports fans, because that's what built this town, was real people. And so his wife was always just like this fanatic in the stands, and the fans went for it and made him a celebrity as long as she was with him at the events, at the fan events, at the tailgates. Unbelievable. And then, in addition, from that decade, moving into the 60s, 1965's, just negotiate this little outcrop of trucks there. 1965's Wiley Johnson. Now, Wiley was nicknamed that because of his play. That's exactly how he played. He was a small forward, and man, that guy really, if you could combine in any player the skills of dribbling, passing, playmaking, shooting, defense in one guy, that was him. He was the ultimate player. He was really the player's player. I mean, he was kind of like if you took all the parts of the best players that you've ever seen, he was the guy, and he was also a little crazy, which it sounds nuts, but it really makes you a better player if you're just a little bit crazy in the NBA, because you're going to take risks that aren't necessarily the best, right? They're not statistically advisable. But those are the kind of risks that make big plays. Those are the kind of risks that win championships. And to take those, you got to be a little off kilter, because for a normal person, inside their gut, it's saying, don't do this, don't make this move, don't make this crazy pass. Whereas if you're just a little bit crazy, you'll do it, because your inside is saying, do it. And that's what made him so good. Partly what made him so good, other than his, like I say, his unbelievable combination of talents that he had, the makeup of his skill set. And finally, from the 80s, from the go-go 80s, go-go's, get it? 80s? Yeah, there was a player named Tyler Tyler Toome, and Tyler Toome was the kind of player that he how do you describe Tyler Toome? Because he was kind of a magician. It was all about misdirection, is the best way to put it, with Tyler Toome. And the guy could make you think he's coming around to your left, and he'd come around the right so fast, it was like you forgot to put on your shorts, because he made you spin back to the other side. You're like, what the? And so that's why he was a fan favorite. Was that he made? It was almost like, what it was like. It was almost like he was in a home. He made the opposing players almost like they were in a Harlem Globetrotter skit, right? That other team that the Globetrotters play, and where the other player's shorts come down because he got deked out so bad. That's what it was like, but it was real. In the real NBA, the guy was unbelievable, and that's why he was a fan favorite. Because the fans would be in the stands, and they were like, "Uh-oh, he's got the ball. Let's see what happens. We don't know what's going to happen next." Here he, you know what I mean? He wasn't blessed with speed necessarily, like pure speed. He was blessed with misdirection speed, which is a whole different thing, because you have to use your head fakes, your body, your shoulders, the way that you're twisted, the way that your waist is twisted, your upper body twisted to your lower body. All of that makes a big difference in how the other player reacts. And this guy was a master, and he didn't seem to know how or why he was so good at it. He just did it. That's what you call a pure natural, when they don't even know what they're doing, really. They just do it. And he said he'd done it since he was a little kid on the streets of Norwalk, Connecticut, where he grew up playing ball. So another fan favorite, just a great cast of characters that we're going through on these videos about former Pittsburgh Pitstop players. One of the best NBA teams ever, if not for the fact that they went defunct in 2007. And we're going to have a whole separate video, perhaps a series of videos on what happened there. The political infighting, the financial stresses, drug use, lots of things that really impacted the Pitstops. But for now, we're just honoring a lot of the fan favorites that have sort of been not forgotten, but let's just say somewhat diminished through the passage of time. And we're opening up the files of the history books and propping them back up on stage so everybody can look at them. And if you're young, well, I mean, none of us were really around in 1930, for example. So any player from that era or earlier eras that we're not aware of, it gives the pit stop fan a chance to enjoy their play, but also what made them a fan favorite, the quirks, the personality, right, that made them a fan favorite. So come on back. We got a lot more out there. Come on.